Okay, Millie, let's go ahead and work through properties of triangles, part 1. I had you skip those other ones just because I want to work on things with you with the quizzes and things. So we moved way on to the next section. Okay, so properties of triangles. Which figure has 3 sides and 3 angles? Obviously, you look down here and it's a triangle. So number 2 is 20 plus 5 greater than, less than, or equal to 12 plus 11. So there's 2 things you have to do with this problem. I've kind of worked through it here. You have to first find out what 20 plus 5 equals, and that equals 25. Then you need to find out what 12 plus 11 equals, and that equals 23. So when we come down here, 25, we're going to put the greater than or less than sign in, is greater than 23. So that's all it's asking you to do. So 20 plus 5 is greater than 12 plus 11. So when we go into this lesson, it gets a little tricky, and I'll probably have to pause the video and have you go to the next video if I run out of time. Okay, so the first section that it has you go to is this page 208. It just shows you this little tanagram puzzle. So we're going to pull that up and look through that. So go ahead and pull that up on your computer. A tanagram just has all those different triangles and shapes put together and how those kind of fit together. That's kind of what we're going to be talking about and thinking about. So let's go ahead and go to the next page. Oh, whoops. So we're going to go to the next page. This is the page that's more important than the first page. So when you're looking at it, you can see your triangle. A triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles. Kind of notice how they're doing those like weird little things on the different parts of the triangle. That is just how you show that there's an angle there. The next one is a parallelogram. A parallelogram, the most important thing is that you've got parallel sides. These 2 sides are parallel, and then the top and the bottom are parallel. Parallel means that 2 lines run next to each other like that forever and ever and ever, and they never touch. Okay, so that's parallel. Okay, the next thing is a rectangle. A rectangle is a parallelogram with 4 right angles. So if you can see really closely, this little like square thing in the corner just shows a right angle. A right angle, it is measured at 90 degrees. Okay, so then a rhombus is a parallelogram with all sides of equal length. Everything is equal. And then a square is a rectangle with all sides equal, and it even has, you can look really close, you've got right angles there, so that's really important to see. And then the last one is a trapezoid. Trapezoids are just 4-sided shapes that one pair of the sides are parallel. You can see these sides would go in different directions and they wouldn't be parallel. Okay, so those are just really important things to see and to understand as we go along. This little diagram is showing a lot of really important things that I need to show you. So all of these little points, they name them different letters. Okay, so don't get confused by that. These little lines right here are just showing that's the name of the angle. An angle, like this is an angle. This is an angle, this is an angle. And then a straight line, all together, all of these angles inside there, all measure, and you add them all together and they add up to 180 degrees. 180 degrees is always a straight line, okay? So they call this line here AD with a little line over the top. AD is the line because we have points A and D inside the line. And it's showing the arrows going on forever because a line can go on forever, okay? Don't get confused by that. It's totally simple. Angle A, angle B, and angle C. The M stands for measurement of the angle. M of A, measurement of A, measurement of B, measurement of C. If you add angle A, angle B, and angle C together, it all equals 180 degrees, okay? So not a big deal. The second thing is like something totally different than like angles, and I don't know I don't know why they put this in here, but it's important to understand. So if in this expression x plus 15, if you plug in 10 for x and you add 15, we'd have 25, and that would be less than 35, okay? If we plug in 25 in it, it would be greater than 35, okay? But then on the last one, if you plug in 20, 20 plus 15 would equal 35. So all it is just working out the problem on one side and figuring out, do I put greater than, less than, or equal to in that spot? All right, Millie, this next part talks about, you have to answer these questions. The sides of this triangle. The way that we name sides is you just look at the letters and you kind of divide them up and say, so the first side would be PQ. That's a line. So I would write it like this, PQ. And I would put this little line over the top of it, okay? And then the next side would be QR, like this. Trying to make sure I'm writing QR with the little line over the top of it. And then the last one would be PR. So we would write it PR, like that. Okay? So those are the three sides. The angles, you just have to name like the sides that are involved in the angle. So think about the angles being just like the parts where these lines come together. Remember how they have these little angle signs? Okay, so the first angle we would say, we would call this angle right here by P, and we would name it RPQ, okay? So we would do measurement of angle RPQ, right? Or we can just write it measurement of angle P. That's another way to do it. So then you'd have measurement of angle Q, measurement of angle R. So we can just write it simply the M of Q and then the measurement of R, okay? Okay, Millie, the next part says that you should complete the quick check on page 210 and 211. What I just really love you to do today is just watch these videos, if you can. Angles, classifying quadrilaterals, and angles on a line. And then we're gonna work through page